Hello class, welcome back. Chapter 3.6, solve proportionals using cross products. And we kind of talked on that in class today. This section will be somewhat of a kind of a review of last section, little more story problems probably in this section 3.6. So thinking about how two ratios, after reading the story problem, how we could set up two ratios to solve something obviously we're missing, kind of like the spaghetti sauce that we were talking about in class today. So, cross products property. The words, the cross products of a proportion are equal. So we talked about that, and here's an example of that right here. So when we're talking about cross products, here's the cross products, and remember products is an answer to a multiplication problem. So 3 times 8 equals 24 and 4 times 6 equals 24. So we know that this proportion is accurate. This one is equivalent, we should say. So in algebra, this really, I thought, should probably go first, actually. But anyways, the algebra, if A over B equals C over D, where B is not 0 or D is not 0, and they cannot equal 0, then AD, kind of what we're saying here, AD times BC, obviously equal each other. So that's the algebra, I guess, variable talk with the A over B and the C over D. Okay, so using the property. So we need to figure out what 8 would be. So again, we are looking today in class of thinking what the number could look like. So we know 6 is the numerator and the ratio on the right side, and 15 is the denominator. So we can think about, well, 8's a little bit larger than 6, so we're probably going to get a little bit larger number than 15 here as the x. So how we're going to solve that is with cross products. So we know that 6 times x is 6x, and we know that 15 times 8 is 120. So divide by 6, x equals. So x equals 20. Okay, so we can write it as x over 20 equals 6 over 15. So again, we talked earlier in class, somebody gave an example of, can we just reduce? Well, here we can't just reduce, and we would get automatically this. We would have to actually reduce both sides first, and then we may get the correct answer. But you'd have to keep on going. Okay, reducing, simplifying each side. Okay, but not on this problem. This problem's fine the way it is because the main thing is we wanted 20. So write and solve a proportion. Each day the seals at an aquarium are each fed 8 pounds of food for every 100 pounds of their body weight. A seal at an aquarium weighs 280 pounds. How much food should that seal be fed per day? So 8 pounds of food, here's food, the amount of food, I labeled it for you right here, okay, and per 100 pounds. So we know that this seal is 280 pounds, so we need to know the amount of food that we have to feed this animal, the seal. So we know that 8 times 280 is 2,240, and that equals 100. X, so divide by 100 on each side. We know that x equals 22.4. Now 22.4 what? 22.4 pounds of food per day. Okay? So just think about that. Think about how much food you eat. So the seal weighs 280 pounds and it eats 22.4 pounds of food per day. That is a lot. So step 1, they're going to want you to write the proportion like we have here using an exponent, okay, in algebra. And then step 2, obviously, we're going to solve for that exponent. So like in class today, we talked about different ways we could write this. So obviously we know that the seal that gets 8 pounds, and we're trying to find the other amount of pounds, for every 100 pounds, 280 the seal. So crossways, they go together as well. So if you solve this, cross multiplied on this one, get the same answer. So you can set up a couple different ways. Just make sure your answer in the end makes sense. So ask the question again, what they want to know, and just make sure it goes in well, that it makes sense. So here's your homework. Problem number 1. Obviously you're solving for A. 2, you're going to find out what x equals. Now you're going to have to do something with x when you get it, because when you solve for x, x will give you this solution. So think about what you have to do with x to get your solution for this one. We'll talk about that on Monday. And here's question number 3. Okay, so the main thing is, this is the question that you're solving for, but you're going to write and solve a proportion to find the answer. So remember, step 1, write the proportion. Step 2, solve it. So I should see work for both of those, 1 and 2, along with 1 and 2 up here as well. So I hope you have a great and safe weekend. If you have any questions, please let me know. Please email me, and I will see you on Monday. Well, half of you on Monday, half of you on Tuesday, because you'll have retreat. So don't forget, if you're going on retreat, you get polo and jeans. All right, so I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and go Lions.